Not every day you get to use a brand new flagship metal detector. Today is one of those days because I'm out with the new Garrett AXIOM. Garrett metal detector is one of the pioneers of metal detecting technology right across the world. In fact, their metal detectors are responsible for finding the Hand of Faith nugget here in Australia, one of the biggest gold nuggets ever to be found. And it's been a number of years since Garrett have released a new flagship gold prospecting metal detector. For more than a decade, Garrett has been concentrating on their relic and coin hunting machines. And they are also responsible for a lot of the airport security that you see across the United States. But they've finally released a brand new pulse induction metal detector. I've got a lot to talk about with this metal detector. I've spent the last 8 hours trying to get my head around it, so that's going to be saved for another day. Today, I just want to dig a couple of targets for you so you can see how it sounds and what it's capable of finding. And before I hear everyone jump on the bandwagon about whether the 6000 is better or the Garrett is better, I'm a really firm believer that most gold prospecting technology in today's world is comparable as long as you buy at the same price point. Sure, there are a few minor exceptions here and there, but really you're not looking at comparing metal detectors that are available today to metal detectors that are available today. What you really want to see is how much they've improved on that technology compared to 10 years ago. And what I can promise you is this is a remarkable step up from the ATX that Garrett last released. Now I forgot my tripod, so I'm going to set you up in some sticks. We're bringing back stick cam. That is I'm going to call it a medium target for this machine, from what I figured out today. Alright, now we're getting stronger. So we are 2 inches down on the second scrape. Still in the hole at 2 inches. We're about 3.5, 4 inches down. Let's make this hole a little bit bigger for ease. Alright, still in the hole. Wow, this is a deep target. For my area, this is a very deep target. Here we go, ladies and gents. First scoop. Is that it there? Yeah. All right. That is a little hunk of iron there, like obviously a sizable target. So we're just going to put that down here. And that was found. I'm going to call that 4 inches. Super clear target at 4 inches. Really happy with that. I haven't been finding many shotgun pellets today, but I'm in an area that I've hammered with the 6000. So I don't think there's going to be too many of them left, to be honest. You haven't seen the video yet, but I did a 100 target challenge and I did it in this area and I almost died. I found gold, but I dug a lot of bullets. This target down here is either going to be a hot rock, very mineralized ground, or a very small target. If it is a small target, I don't want to lose it, so we're just going to take off a very shallow layer of dirt, and then we're going to re-ground balance the whole thing, because I am literally working next to an old hard rock mine, and the ground here is full of iron. Yeah, that is hot ground. So let's see, if I come to the menu here and we hold down ground balance, maybe not. Let's do another scrape. This is the hard thing. No matter what metal detector I've used in this area, ground noise has always been an issue, especially when you've got damp soil like that. And it seems to have gone. And it's not my waste rock. I'm calling that ground noise. Normally, if it's a target, it'll get a lot stronger. I wasn't sure about this signal for a second. It sounded a little bit more like ground noise, but after taking the top off, it got stronger. So we're just going to come back here. I'm going to ground balance again. Just trying to make sure. We're going to ground balance right on top of where the target is. Come into it. That certainly sounds like a target to me. So it wasn't too deep, maybe about an inch. What if it was a hot rock? Well, it might be. Really? Huh. Alright, that is some really hot ground. We have a hot rock here and there is a few other signals there. When you have a clump of dirt that's very hot and full of hot rocks like this, the mineralization in such a condensed area is what gives you a signal from your metal detector. And so if you spread that soil out, sometimes that signal will just evaporate. But then if you clump it back together, it'll come through. This rock though is giving me a signal, so we always take our hot rocks home and crush them just in case. I'm not even 3 feet from that hot rock and I've got what sounds like a solid actual metal signal. That's definitely metal. If it's in that gravel layer, I'll be really happy. It is. Alright. Topsoil, it's always junk. Once you get into the gravel, it might be gold, maybe. Shotgun pellets tend to sit on top of the gravel layer. It's out. So it's probably a bit of junk because it was sitting on top of that gravel layer. Yeah, that is I'm betting, got a magnet on the end of this, so I reckon it's a bit of steel. Yep. Quite obviously, this is not a review, I'm just giving you a first look. But there are a few things on this machine that I like and I would like to point out. The telescopic carbon shaft here is actually square and it comes with, on this side, set pins. That means that there is no twisting. The coil cannot twist out of alignment with your hand. And it also means that these hold the shaft in place wherever you put it. I've had a lot of experience with Dr. Macro detectors and Minelab detectors that have round telescopic shafts that use friction holds to keep them in place, and they just twist a lot, and it's a tedious, annoying thing to have to constantly re-straighten your coil. I love the display buttons. These buttons feel very solid. When you press them, they make a really satisfying click. And it's laid out very intuitively. So we've got a simple ground balance button that is separated and big. We've got a threshold button that is right there. You don't have to go on any sub menus to adjust it. You've got a volume button, and then you've just got your sensitivity bars here, power, and you've also got on this machine an iron checker, which is great. Look, if you're gold prospecting, you're digging every target regardless, because you don't know if a piece of gold is hiding next to a nail. You don't know if the piece of gold is lodged inside a large piece of ironstone. But having an iron checker allows you to dig targets faster, because if you just know that it's most likely going to be a rusty nail, you can go a little bit harder and not worry about digging a big nugget. Gives you that bit more confidence to dig. That is definitely the best internal speaker I have ever had on any detector. It is super loud, it's very easy to hear. And it's a little thing, but this finger well here just makes the grip on your hand so much more comfortable than having just a smooth shaft with nothing to stop your hand from sliding up further. There are a couple of things I don't like. Both the headphone jack and the charging port covers are really squishy. They're not as nice and clean as the buttons on the screen, which I feel like they could be. It's a minor thing, but just getting dirt into this sort of area is not good. I like the positioning of this compared to the 6000, because the 6000's one's actually under here coming out of the battery compartment. And when you put it on the ground, it just puts a lot of pressure on if there's a stick or a rock or something there, and I'm worried that one day I'll break it. On this, it's obviously up out of the way, but it's got this problem going on, so it gets hooked on branches and stuff. I would like to see a version of this like they have with the Gold Monster, where the cord wraps down the handle and then along the shaft, and it's got a purpose-built clip. I've got another very loud signal right on top of the gravel layer. So it's probably a bit of junk. If it's still in the gravel layer after this scrape, then there's hope. Yeah, okay, there's a little bit of hope. A little bit. Yeah, we're down the fairway now. It's out. That's about maybe 3 inches.
In my regular Vo-Gus prospecting videos, I would normally trim these sequences up for you so you would get a shortcut version of what was really going on. But I want to show you guys the response this metal detector has on the ground and to targets in the scoop. And so I've left a lot of these full length.
One day it'll be the big rock. Yeah, that is the very tip of a nail. Not all of it's rusty old junk, some of it's, well, shotgun junk. I've come down to the alluvial flats where the old timers punched a lot of holes down to bedrock. I got a very faint signal here, and this, to me, if this was a 6000, sounds like a shotgun pellet. Now, this is an area that I have detected, but not as hard. And therefore there should be more lead in the ground, and that's really important because shotgun pellets are the same sort of size that the smallest pieces of gold that you're going to be able to detect usually are. So if this machine can detect those shotgun pellets, then we know it's a very sensitive machine. Leaf litter somewhere in here. Alright, that's a gravel layer just there. We're about 1 inch down. This is the most important find of the day, and it's a shotgun pellet. I know that doesn't seem like it would be very significant, but it really is. You see tiny little pieces of lead like this register just the same as tiny little pieces of gold. So if this detector is capable of picking up a shotgun pellet just like this, and it did it at about 1.5 inches, it means I'm going to be able to find a piece of gold the same size at the same depth. And it came up clear and it came up sharp. I was actually really worried that this machine wouldn't be able to find shotgun pellets, but it definitely can. It definitely can. I just got to go where they are, right? Man, those Karawongs are telling me it's time to go home. But you know what's really impressive? Is digging a hole that deep for one of these. One of these real old shell casings, these little shorts. I'm not exactly sure. I'm guessing that's a handgun round, a small 22 cal handgun round. But what was more impressive is the dirt level started up here, and we pinged that at about, see, the phone's not really level to where the dirt was, but I'm going to guess 10 inches from where the soil started. That little thing at 10 inches, loud and clear. It's impressive.